Hey guys. Hey Susan. Yep, no worries at all. Hey Elise, Luana, Chantel, Elizabeth, Debbie, Leanne. Oh, nice. Hope you're having a nice time on your honeymoon. Current employment. All right. Yes. Yes, Jeanette. I just saw your text message too. Actually. Beautiful. All right, guys. So just usual. Here just because I had an hour spare. I thought, yep, I'm going to do a live read or do my books. I'll do a live read. Other than that, guys, so please, no pregnancy, no legal, no health questions. Other than that, I can see most of you guys are familiar, so it's all good. All right, I just want to scroll back up and grab Susan. All right, it's beautiful. Let me pull some cards for you, Susan. I hope everyone's been keeping well, enjoying spring if you're where spring is. Oh, sorry, I've got some cards turned over. All right. Susan, let me grab that. All right, here we go. Susan. Feel a bit not stuck by any yards of the stick, but I feel like I have to be mindful of my choices. But there needs to be a choice. All right, yeah, okay. So I want to say, it's almost like there's a big energy that's sitting here now, and as I said, you've got the detox card that sits there with it. And so I feel like I want to take action now. I feel frustrated, and I feel like that energy is telling me it's time. And I want to say, pay attention to that. You've got the moving forward card, which talks about moving on to better things. You've got the uncertainty card that sits there, and confusion, doubt, da 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 da. But what I want to say to you though is have clear plans that's there. I feel like I need to breathe and just kind of work my way through a couple of things before I'm able to make that shift. So even if it's a shift within work and not necessarily to another form of employment, I still want to say there's things that need to be done. I need to take a breath, and I just need to let processes and policies or whatever it is that's in the way ride their wave, okay, and then I'm able to move forward. So there's a little bit of time that's attached to it, regardless of which way it is. But it's time to let go of what no longer serves. So if you're kind of sitting going, should I wait and just see if it calms? It's not. That's not the reason why I say to wait. Okay, it is that energy of no, there needs to be a shift around. But I feel like, as I said, I need to wait my time. There's something in the way first. I need to step through that. Don't cut my nose to spite my face. Moving forward, that uncertainty, that cloud of judgment will clear. Yeah, so a little bit of energy. Yeah, so all right, so you've got the uncertainty leading to the confronting fears, and you've got the prosperity card that's there, and that's what I'm saying. There's things you need to walk through. There's things that you need to do first. Okay, that uncertainty energy will clear once you sit a little bit more with that, and I can feel it. I just want to say it's coming. Okay, don't doubt that it's coming. I know that it's not here right now, but you've got the courage, the release, the freedom, all of that beautiful energy that comes in, and the prosperity card that comes up. Okay, so as I said, there's definitely a shift, but there's things that need to be done first. All right, I hope that helps, Susan. All right, I wanted to go. That was so cool. Yep, all right, I'll keep in line as much as I'm able to. So guys, I don't ask you to share or do anything else. I always appreciate, obviously, but I don't do it based on who I'm drawn to. But love hearts and thumbs up and everything else just on the video always help as well. It's always appreciated. But Debbie, greetings from New Zealand. Such a beautiful place. Didn't quite make it there this year, but hopefully next year. Had it all booked. All right, let's go. Debbie. Face-to-face readings are back to, for those of you who didn't know. I want to say pay attention to how you're feeling at the moment, Debbie. You've got the health card, which talks about thinking about health, but paying attention to the long term. And it doesn't necessarily reflect just on physical health. It reflects on the emotional, mental, all of those kind of little bits and pieces. when I sit with your cards, I wanted to see where the story was going a little bit. So you've got the trust card. Self-trust and self-belief is where it all begins. And this card usually represents a need to come back to that, a need to sit and just kind of know that we need to instigate the changes that we want to see around us, and that whilst they may involve other people or situations, we need to be a driving force in our own. We need to drive our own car, drive our own train down the tracks. And I feel like you need to pay a little bit more attention to where you're at and what it is that's happening around you, how you feel about that. Where are you, you know what I mean? You're sitting. Where are you sitting? And so you've got the patience card that comes in. Good things come to those that wait. Yeah. We need a bit of action. So we've got the procrastination card that comes in. All right. And that just talks about creating some delays to avoid action. And the thing that I want to link it back with the health card is that I feel like this is something that's not new. This energy, this feeling, this notion that's around you, I feel like it's something that's been sitting with you for a while. Okay, so you've got the heartache card that comes up, which talks about challenging matters of the heart. And absolutely, making changes around ourselves to align ourselves to whether the benefit of our health, whatever aspect that falls into, we worry about how it affects other people. We worry about how it affects ourselves. All of that kind of energy, and you've got the confronting fears card that follows straight up with the frustration card. It's like, God damn it, I know what I need to do, but and it's that kind of energy that sits there with it. But just taking a moment. I do 12 cards in my spread, so I may as well finish with you. So you're taking a moment, it clears your energy, and then you get the improvement of self and situations, which is where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, the energy has to come from within you, okay, and that's what the female card talks about. And just be mindful where your intentions lay. If we worry about what can go wrong, that's where we're throwing all of our energy. Our subconscious doesn't know the difference. When we're imagining something, our subconscious takes that as real. So if we're imagining, worst case scenarios happening, our subconscious is reacting to that as a real event, and that's what it aligns itself to. And that's why, things that we're trying to manifest don't actually come to us, because we're focusing on the negative. And so take in what I've said that's there. As I said, it's time to kind of sit and work out what it is that is missing and what it is that you need to be able to make the shifts around you and fall more into sync with yourself. Okay. There's a journey that sits here with it. So that it's not like, oh yeah, I'll do this and next week everything will be fine. I feel like this is on a bigger scale for you, Debbie. And it's a positive energy, it comes from having a good heart and being a good person and deserving more. But it's time to kind of focus more on yourself. You're no good to anyone else anyway if you're no good to yourself. Okay, so use that as a priority to find some time for yourself. And I hope that helps. All right. Okay. You've got a nice intuitive energy that's there. I want to say, make sure you're trusting that. Okay. All right. Listening to the kookaburras laughing all day today. It was funny. When I left the offices from doing the readings this morning, there was a kookaburra injured, I guess, on the road, and a car had driven around and stopped, and it was nice just to watch, because then another car stopped. I was like, yeah, sweet, kookaburras, all cool. And then I've been hearing them laughing all day. All right. Okay. It's like there's a stagnation around you of people. And when you've got the taking a moment card, which talks about gratitude and rest, just taking a breath and taking a moment for yourself. You get the uncertainty card. That's like 3 out of 3 that card's popped up. Confusion, doubt, and clouded judgment. And it's like, what do I do? And going a little bit back and forth in our head and all of that energy that's there. But you've got the alarm clock, which talks about the fact that it's time. You know it and you feel it. You know that there's shifts and changes that need to be made. I feel like there's worry over a particular person around you. And I want to say that energy is going to clear, but like it's almost like giving them a little bit of not what's the word, like leeway is what I keep hearing in my head, but I don't get that word. That makes sense. People need to make their own mistakes, okay, and we can sit and support them and look after them through that journey, but they've got to make those mistakes as part of their journey, okay, and sitting and trying to prevent that and be everything, it doesn't help them in the long run. So it's interesting, because when I continue to pull your cards, you've got the where are you card, which talks about where are you in this life, like if you knew that you had a week left, what's missing, what's on your bucket list, what are you going to go get done, and it's not about, oh yeah, I want to bungee jump, I want to do this, I want to do that. It's talking about the fact that one day, you know, this life is what you've got. Are you getting the most out of it? Are you making enough time for yourself? And if not, you know, one of the ways I always combat this card is I write a list. Write a list of everything that's missing, you know, and then write a second list underneath that of everything you're going to do to fix that. It's time to have a look at the bigger picture. It's time to pay attention to the bigger picture, and with that brings a change of life. Okay, and as I said, for me, when I sit with you, I feel like there's a level of stagnation that's around you. Have a look at that in self situations and people that are there. But I hope that helps. And yes, that's just what I have for you, Gay. All right. Yes. All right, Alicia, how are you going? Nice to see you. Halloween's going to have a nice, cool live feed. Doing it completely different, doing it with one of my amazing and awesome friends and fellow psychic mediums as well. We're just hunting out a good place to do it. Looking forward to that. All right, Alicia. All right, so you've got the joy card. You've got a nice energy when I sit with you, and I'll say don't doubt what's around you. You've got the joy card, talks about peace, happiness, harmony, and having the balance of all of those things start to shift into play. You've got the spirit card that comes in, so this is where I'm feeling a nudge for you. And for those of you not sure, like this is my deck. The spirit card, it talks about, you know, we find a feather, we find a rock, all of those kind of little bits and pieces. So generally, when spirit's encouraging us, we feel it as a little bit of frustration sometimes, or a little bit of like visions, you know, all of those kind of little bits and pieces can make you kind of just reflect, and that's exactly what they want you to do. So just letting you know that that energy is around you right now. Now you've got the unity card, which talks about love, relationships, and trust, and it's a really symbolic kind of, for me, it's about that. It's not necessarily like relationship love, but it can be love between family and all of those kind of little bits and pieces, but it's about the truth of it, the pureness of it. You know, when you look at people and they're like, oh yeah, we're so in love, and you're like, yeah, pick your asses up. And then you look at other people and like, oh wow, you know, it's got a different energy to it. And that's what it's talking about there. This card talks about the fact that the energy you've brought in around yourself is honest and it is pure, and what you're bringing to you is the same, okay? So you've got the support card that comes in there after, which just talks about the fact that you're not alone. And for me, what the energy is shown in this card, so, you know, people have got your back. People have really got your back that you can trust. So just be mindful. You've got the external conflict card that's there, which just talks about conflict by outside forces and people. You've done enough here to trust your gut. If it looks like a duck and it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. And you know it is. So just be mindful of the balance. Keep the balance within yourself. Don't let any of that energy creep in and create self-doubt where there doesn't need to be any, okay? I feel like nice with your energy. I want to say you're clicking, you're good, you're cool. If there's things that are in the way at the moment, have a look at what they are, take what you need from them and keep going, okay? That's all that needs to happen here. Just don't let that little turn into anything bigger than it needs to be, all right? So I hope that helps. Yes, Jeanette, I'm going to pull cards for you. All right. I'm going to cheat. Well, I'm not cheating. I'm cheating. I'm not cheating. I know there's more to your message. Yeah, okay. Cool bananas. Just an addition of timeline is the only thing. Alright. Funnily enough, the spirit card just jumped upside down. We'll leave it there. Alright. I question the length of time. Is how you're feeling about that? Because your cards there, it's like, yep, that's fine. It feels fine as far as it goes. But then I feel like you've got the healing card, you've got the heartache card, you've got the card about self-care, you've got the health card, and the house card that represents the house has got clearing out the stables on it, you know. So if you're not feeling like this is something you want to do on an emotional level, like I wouldn't want to be away from my home for 4 weeks. That's just who I am, not for any other reason then. So, you know, if you understand that the energy that I'm talking about, so that's the only thing that's in the way, really. Other than that, though, I feel like socially it's nice. I see you, if I throw my energy up there, I see you smiling and kind of connecting and meeting a couple of people around. So I don't feel like it's a negative experience by any yards of the stick. And it may just be that little thing, you know, just a bit of a shake up in the wind type of energy that's there. Because as far as the practicality and the logistics go, there's no problems, honestly. It's just all sitting around. You've got, look, I pulled 6 cards and you got 3 hearts. Okay, it's definitely just you know, sitting around that energy that's there. So if the thought of it's making you go no, then don't. But if that's all that's in the way and you're happy to logistically, and as I said, otherwise it feels really nice. Okay, so I hope that helps. All right, let me just catch up with the comments a bit because I did grab it once. Mary. Yeah. You've got choices around you, and they're not immediate choices. There's choices to stay, or there's choices to move up. And I don't feel like you necessarily have to change a situation in either one of those, but your energy and where you're going behind it and what you're doing. It's like I don't want to put it in like study or anything else like that, but you know, not to disclude that by any odds, because they're certainly using university as a example. But it's like that. It's like, you know, sitting at the choice and go, okay, for the next 4 years, I can just do this, and at the end of it, I'm going to be this or have this and this level of qualification. Or I can kind of acknowledge that I need to step up and away a little bit and do this and end up here in 4 years' time. Okay, and it's not 4 years' time as an exact. I'm just using, as I said, they gave me university as an example, so that's what I'm using. So I want to say it's time to kind of sit and reflect about what you want. Not necessarily now, not necessarily in 2 years, but say like in 5 years, you know, in 10 years, especially around the financial earning ability that you're going to have and things like that. So let me pull you some cards. I just wanted to flip over the couple that were there. Cards are very flippy today. Patience card just flipped, it looks like. All right, let's see what your cards say. Yeah. Okay, so see, you've got your cards, roads. So your first card is a dead end, okay, and it talks about the fact that this way does not work, all right, and that's the thing around it. As I said, I don't feel like everything has to have this huge upheaval, though, you know, not to say that we can't, but we don't have to rush, okay, is what I want to say. The dead end, but there's something around it no longer working. And as I said, for me, especially with it, is the attitude. And it's not attitude, it's just that belief in self and motivation, and that, you know, I'll start this tomorrow when, you know, tomorrow kind of keeps going and all of that. So your attitude is a choice, and that's what that card says. Your attitude is a choice. And even in negative situations, we've got a choice about our reaction within that. And you've got the crossroads card, which talks about decisions, choices, and direction. Okay. So basically, you know, they're saying to you, hey, there's something, then that's what I'm saying. It's exactly what I said before I pulled the cards, is what I want to keep saying to you. That's there, okay? You've got a choice. You've got a really nice, awesome energy. I can see a nice care and nurture energy around you. Be mindful just of the choices that you're making, you know. It's easy to kind of, yeah, not reflect too deeply at times and other bits and pieces like that, or to, you know, make changes that can be hard and all of that, but I promise you it's going to be the best thing you ever did. You've got an awesome energy moving forward, but they're like, hey, don't stand still too long in the one spot, okay? Otherwise opportunities pass us by. All right, so I hope that helps. Hey, Leslie. Feels like there's been just an energy of busyness, but it's like you're waiting to take a breath. A lot of energy that sits there with it. I mean, I want to say look after your heart. And I don't mean that in a health way, in an emotional way. What's in the mind? All right. This is when I sit with you, as I said, I want to just sit, and it's almost like I just want to sit and just be quiet for a moment and just, just be there. And it's an interesting. So you've got the it's time card, the alarm clock, which talks about you're feeling that that there's things that need to change, or changes that are coming in that were necessary. Gee, there's a heartfelt energy to this. I want to make sure my words are right with that card because when I say it's necessary, that kind of catches in a cycle, was it? But things have to play out. Okay, you've got the be positive card, which again talks about your attitude being a choice, and it's very much so not. It's not about attitude. It's about just choosing how we react, choosing how we look up at things, and even on a cloudy day, we can appreciate the rain. You've got the self-care card, which talks about standing in your truth, your honor, and your awareness, and that's why I say I feel like I just want to sit and give you a moment to rest and to not have to be everything for everyone else and all of that kind of energy right now. You've got the stand strong card, which we know you've got this. You've got a beautiful strong energy that's there, but that's what it is. Like, yeah, you've got this. You've got the female card that sits there, which talks about the fact that this has to come from within. So if we're sitting and waiting for, situations and people around us to make changes, if I hope this person changes or I hope this thing falls into place, that energy alone is not going to be enough. It needs to come from within you, and you need to be mindful of what you need and where you stand throughout all of it. There's an external conflict card that comes up, which talks about conflict being caused by outside forces and people. And as I said, that can be simply, I was trying to say worry and simply at the same time then. It can be simply worrying about people and worrying, and having to look after people and all of that kind of energy that's there. You've got so see, they're asking you just to pay attention to yourself because you've got the detox card and clearing out the stables. Just be mindful that you're, my monkey, my circus, and we can only train and look after our own circuses. The uncertainty card is what jumped out around when I was pulling the cards, which talks about confusion and doubt and having a little bit of clouded judgment. The way to clear that through is just, as I said, that truth, honour and awareness. Okay, you need to stand in that energy. You need to pay a little bit more attention to your needs and what you need. But it's interesting. I said I want to say there's a bigger story to that, but so it's with like heaps of love that I want to give that reading. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps. All right. Let me just catch up again. Got to remember it's daytime, not nighttime. Yeah, sure. Where did I grab? How I go? All right. Sometimes it grabs someone that's just meant to come up. So I'll get to the next person next. But Kim, my mouse has chosen you, and so yes, absolutely, I would love to do a reading for you. It's funny, I didn't even see your message sit now. I love how I always say those that are meant to be will be. All right, let's get the cards. Okay, so you've got the Stay Connected card, which talks about staying connected to yourself, through self-expression, through all the things, expression, patience, enjoying things, spending time, acknowledging desires, emotions, understanding, resting, truth, priorities, all of that kind of energy. So they're saying just bring that energy back in, and sometimes it can be like taking a big breath and just allocating, next Saturday I've got no work and I'm going to just do me for the day. I'm going to, just stay connected to myself. So they're showing there's a bit of frustration around you, so taking a breath and just regrouping. And as I said, that's the best way to do that is staying connected to yourself. So then you've got the changes card. It just talks about being open to embracing the changes around you. these changes actually feel quite positive. I feel like it's almost like you know, if it was where it was like going from one up to one to there, you know, it's a nice energy that sits there. Honestly, so yeah, so just being positive, knowing you've got lots of support around you, and that change can be scary. Change can be scary, but be open to embracing it. I feel quite strongly around a work or a financial side of things with this, but when I do it, it encompasses everything around you. Like I see family and things like that. So I want to say that it's a good, positive change. It's going to have an outwinding effect, but I feel like it's one that's coming in for you, not one that you've necessarily instigated yourself. So as I said, be open to embracing the changes. They're bringing nice positive things in for you, but it's going to challenge you to make you look at yourself and learn yourself, and you know, not in any big, huge, monumental way by any yards of the stick, but just taking you a bit out of your comfort zone. But as I said, stay connected with it. It feels nice. Yeah, don't be afraid to take a chance. Nothing changes if nothing changes, and with it comes healing. So, really nice cards. Just be open to embracing the changes that are coming in. Okay, Kim? So I hope that helps. Hello, Serena. Serena. Your ears must have been burning. Are you still here? Because I was just talking about you and Halloween. Looking forward to that. All right. You're very welcome. Very welcome, man. I'll do my best, Wendy. I won't say that I am always, but I will try. Saying that I'm always positive. Oh, I'm very positive. Getting my own way sometimes too. All right, Karina. How am I? I am good. Love a reading, please. You're always giving such great advice. Oh, nice. All right, Karina. Have a bit of fun around you, bring in a little bit more fun, a little bit more whimsical, kind of, you know, spontaneous energy that's there. I'm seeing it as like putting on a song and dancing around, and I know they're kind of showing me, hey, be a bit of a dag, be a bit silly, just to shift the energy up, you know what I mean? There's nothing like, you know, like watching a 3-year-old be silly, that makes us kind of giggle and just go, you know, I always marvel at 3-year-olds. I could watch them all day. Not necessarily look after them all day, but I could watch them all day. And it's, you know, I always marvel just at their innocence and their exuberance and their, you know what, this song makes me feel that I'm going to dance. And so, yeah, just bring a little bit of energy into you around that, a little bit of silliness. You've got the Catch the Rainbow card, which talks about, you know, remembering that your goals are not impossible. Okay, just be mindful of the balance that you've got around. And for me, you know, it's a simple thing to say around balance, but the reason why that's what I put the yin and yang of life on the bottom of it, because it's not just balance, you know, work and play and it's that overall balance that's there. And, you know, we've got to sit in the moment, we've got to appreciate each day, and we've got to love each day, but at the same token, we've got to think about, you know, what we need on our overall life happiness. And so I don't want to make that bigger comment than what it needs to be right now, but just make sure that you're honouring yourself through. And that's what I'm saying. Bring that silliness in, bring the spontaneous in, bring just simple, you know what I mean? I just feel like it just brings a better balance in them. You've got the self-care, the card which talks about, you know, truth, honour and awareness and standing in those. All right. Yeah. I just feel like you just need some time out. Be mindful where your intentions lay. So again, you know, just to cover that, our subconscious does not know the difference. When we imagine something, so, you know, we're going for a job and we're imagining ourselves making a fool of ourselves in the job interview and sitting there watching 50 other people walk in and watching them all maybe dress better than us. Our subconscious lives that as the experience when we go there. And so when we go there, our subconscious, our memory is already traumatized by the experience, and that's what you know what I mean? So just be mindful of where we keep intentions, and it can be simple or it can be complex, but just be mindful where we keep intentions. It's going to shift in. Go play in the grass. Play in the grass. Play at the park. Go be a 3-year-old for a day. You just need a good old dose of Mother Nature's innocence. So I hope that helps. Okay. You've got a nice energy around you, honestly. Just give yourself a moment. And if you're looking for answers, that's going to bring the clarity that you need. You know what, Rosalind? I am going to read for you. I was literally like, I don't know, a few seconds ago in my head going, I wonder where everyone's from. And you told me. So that's like, cool. I'm measuring my water and I forgot a cup. So you've got my mega bottle. 2 litres of water a day makes such a beautiful difference on your brain and your body. All right, Rosalind, let me focus on you. Nice. Okay. So you've got the take a moment card, gratitude and rest are needed. Okay. When we talk about gratitude, it's not about, oh, you need to be grateful. It's so not that. It's about gratitude. It's about getting to sit and go for a walk and go, gee, the green of the trees looks beautiful this time of year, and the wind feels really beautiful on my skin, and all of those kind of things where we just get to sit and just appreciate the beauty and the moments that are around us, even in the most simplest form. And it's amazing what that does for our soul and our energy. Okay. You've got the improvements of self and situations card. That's there, things are moving up. You've got a frustration card, which just talks about this taking a breath and regrouping. And then it goes straight back to like change of luck that's there. So if things have been sitting a little bit like jaggy and stagnant and little bits and pieces like that over the last several months, they're very, very clearly showing in the cards things are clearing out. Things are clearing out, okay? Just see both of them. Look, rest and needed, taking a break, breath is what I'm trying to say. And regrouping, that's what gratitude does for you. It allows you to regroup. It allows you to take a breath, okay? Then you've got the change of luck. Energies are shifting for the better. You've got the validation there from spirit around you, and clearing out the stables, out with the old and in with the new, okay? So once you feel all this energy and these shifts all coming into place, which for me, there's no timeline sitting here. It's like, yeah, no, just take a moment, have that gratitude and see that things are sitting already around you. There is a little bit of work attached to it that's there, out with the old and in with the new, and it's just getting rid of what no longer serves around, okay? And it doesn't feel like things that I have to be too overly concerned about, just little tidbits of habits and, yeah, I don't feel like it's on any huge scale. So it's like literally going around the house and clearing out the cobwebs, okay? So yeah, just take a breath. Things are shifting up very, very clearly in your cards. So I hope that helps. All right. Jump back up a little bit. Where do I want to go there? Yes, I did. Thank you for coming back at me. Chantel, thank you for your patience. You were who I meant to grab onto before, and then the comments jumped. So I'm glad I remembered. All right, Chantel. Sorry, pardon me, I know that's so bad. Oh no, hang on for 1 second. Sorry. Please be somewhere, and I needed to get an antibacterial one. Alright. Caught me off guard, that sneeze. Oh, I knew it was coming, so it didn't catch me off guard, did it? Alright, anyway, sorry. Alright, healing, spirit, and prosperity card is what you've got. Live feeds. What do you do? So you've got the healing card. You've also got the spirit card, which is really nice. It's nice to feel that card popping around today, actually. The healing card just talks about being patient but allowing healing to come in. So what that's representative of is healing is like we're ready to move forward, we're ready to do all these little bits and pieces, but emotions that are still linked to experiences and everything else like that happen sometimes don't allow that full healing to come in. If we still look back on situations with anger or hurt or pain and things like that, we're still on that healing journey that's there, okay? So you've got the spirit card, which just talks about our loved ones that are with us, they're connected with us, they're looking over us, and they're supporting us on this journey. That's there. I feel like there's a bit of transition period around you that's happening, but then you've got the prosperity card that sits at the end of it, which talks about financial growth, it talks about security, and it talks about abundance. Okay, so I want to say what you're going through right now is just a moment in time. Don't let it become too defining. Okay, but know that on the other side of it, you've got that beautiful prosperity card. So stand strong. Know that there's people around you that are supporting you. Be mindful of your balance. Just watch where that sits, and I'm sure, yeah, you've got the internal conflict card. I'm looking for the intention card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've got the female card, which is just as good. So as you guys know, I do 12 cards in the spread and then 4 of what you need to know most. And that's what you've got there, you know, just stand strong. You've got nice support around you. Be mindful of your balance. There's a lot of internal conflict going on, but there is a shift coming around. Just keep looking after yourself. Don't create delays to avoid action, because the changes have to come from within you. The strength has to be maintained by you. Okay, so I hope that helps, but just know it's a moment. It's a moment, and it's going to move on. Okay, so I hope that helps. All right. I was waiting for it. Mira Chan, it's hard to, yeah, unfortunately, around COVID and bits and pieces like that, life is just what it is at the moment, as far as traveling to study and everything else like that. When it's all logistically in play, okay, so when the ability to is there, it's not the first lot, it's the second lot. So, like, say, for example, if we're running on semesters, because I'm hearing in my head, semester 1, semester 2, it's going to be semester 2. So even if that falls to semester 3, because we're partway through the year, but if that's when the intake's happening, that's what I want to say, okay? As far as the travel side of things goes, yeah, unfortunately, a little bit too much power around, has to say over that at the moment. Oh, hello. Hello, Elijah. All right, where did I want to go? There, Leslie. Leslie. All right, what do you need to know? Oh, you've got 4 cards. There you go. What have you pulled out twice at once? Oh, no. Okay. All right. So you've got the. It's not funny. I'm going to put them in. All right. You've got the Be Positive card, which talks about your attitude being a choice. Which I'm not sure how long you've been watching for, but it's not attitude. It's not check your attitude. It's not about that. It's just about knowing that, you know, we've got a choice in our reactions, and that even when challenges and things like that feel really heavy around us, we still can stand there with that positiveness. And, you know, even if we've got to fight for that, we've still got to make a really conscious choice in our reactions and where we hold ourselves. Now, you pulled 2 cards out at once, and they were the Cycles card and the Love card. And what the Cycles card talks about is that the beginnings and the endings of things, you know, it's from the caterpillar to the beautiful butterfly, but knowing that cycles are a natural order, they're a natural process. Things are going to begin, things are going to end. The Love card attaches to that. Now, this card for me is absolutely not just necessarily around relationships. It is about getting to tap into your truth, your happiness, and your desires on a proper level that's there. So what they're trying to say to you is that these cycles that are around you at the moment, they are pushing you to where you actually need to be. Let them flow around. They're a natural order. You've also got the clearing out the stables card, which talks about out with the old and in with the new. And then sometimes, as incredibly hard as that can be, pay attention to the fact that what I'm shoveling out there on this card is shit, okay? It is the things that need to go in our life. And so I want to say just kind of, yeah, see, where are you? It's, yeah, see, trust in yourself. All right, it's pushing you to a better place, but I feel like it's not necessarily feeling that great at the moment. But trust in it. Trust in the natural process and order around things. Trust in the fact that if it looks like a duck, it walks like a duck, and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Even if with all we wanted was to see a swan. Okay, sometimes that's just the way that it is. But know the things that are happening around you at the moment are for a very specific reason, and to push you where you need to be. Okay, and I want to be mindful and tasteful when I say that, because natural order. Okay, it's a natural order. So even if some of those things are incredibly heartfelt and difficult, I don't want to be disrespectful by just saying, yeah, you know, it's just a cycle. Understand that there is a lot of beautiful energy that contains within that. but it's putting you into a better place, okay, a healing place. So just know that, and I hope that that helps. All right. Aren't they always? Let me have a look. How are you going, Alan? Let's just see what's next. Beautiful Ellen. Absolutely amazing lady. Let's have a look. You already know the answers to those. Yes, let's have a look and see the energy around. There's a map that they show me in my head, okay, and you've got your journey pegged out on this map, okay, but there's a traffic jam here, there's a car accident sitting up here, and there's a burst water pipe up here, okay, and so we need to look at the map, but we just need to reroute a little bit, okay, but our final destination is still there. It's still the same, it's still absolutely attainable. We just need to change the route a little bit, all right? Let me pull you some cards. Yeah. Sorry, I'm laughing because the third card's the intuition card. So you've got the male card that's there, which talks about calling on your strength, okay? Yes, absolutely, you can have and attached to a male that's there and significant for you, depending, but for me, because I'm reading for you and with your problems, okay, this is about calling on your strength. It's like rolling up the sleeves, you know, scratching the old balls and getting on with things, and no disrespect to those that scratch their balls, but you all do it. So you know what I mean, okay? But it's just in jokes aside, it is about that. It's calling on that strength. It's knowing that sometimes, as I said, we've got to pull that map out and go, you know what? I'm still got to get there. I've still got to be there at 2 o'clock. Just going to reroute a bit. You've got the freedom card there, which talks about release, self-love, and determination. When all of those beautiful qualities are coming into play, we get the freedom, and that's what it is. It's that beautiful dove that flies off. You know, trust in your intuition. Trust your psychic senses. Okay, always come back to those because, well, that's what you're meant to do, specifically, especially for you, Ellen. So I hope that that helps, okay? The final destination, as I said, is still clear as it's just sitting there flashing like a little beacon, all right? It's not lost by any yards of the stick. And that's what the sorting out, reroute. You need to find a different road, okay? There's too many roadblocks in the way. Just find a different way. You don't necessarily have to acknowledge them. Just go a different way. It's all good. There's nothing standing in your way, okay? So I hope that that helps. Zachary. How are you? Let's just see if you've just shifted or about to or wanting to shift around work. It could just literally be like a move or shift. Have a look at your cards there in 2 sections as well. Alright. You have a look. Yeah. It's when I sit with you and I focus on your energy before I'm pulling the card, what I keep seeing you is standing in a new space, and it very much feels like it's work connected in some way, shape, or form. So, but it's got a bigger energy to it. Maybe it's the way you're dressed. I'd like to validate that and see what room I'm seeing you standing in, because it's not necessarily looking like an office space or anything else like that, but it's new. So let me read your cards, okay? So you got the shit happens card, which talks about in life shit happens, and it's like sometimes things create big shifts and changes around us that we don't necessarily have done, you know, the right thing, or you know, we brought it ourselves, or it's just in life shit happens, and we've got to make sure that we don't let it become defining moments, but just little speed humps that we've got to get over. You've got the uncertainty and the doubt and the cloud of judgment that comes in with all of those things, but then you've got the dead end card that's there. Talks about the fact that this way doesn't work. So, you know, I want to say you know that. I want to say you feel that. It's almost like there's this big driving force that's shifting you, okay? So even if it's not voluntary, even if it's something that you're not sitting back and going, okay, I see this isn't working, so I'm going to move, and it's something that's been shoved up you, because I keep seeing you, like with your heels dug in a little bit, you know, like on the cartoons when someone gets pushed and they've got their heels dug in, the dirt's kind of coming back off their heels a little bit. So embrace it, okay, because your card that fell on the floor was talking about improvements, okay, so of self and situations that are there. And if I, yeah, so you're at a crossroads, you've got decisions to make, but there's a completion that's here. All right, one door closes and another one will open. And the thing around the completions and around the tower energy that this kind of represents is that when you look at a bushfire that's gone through the bush and you look and you see everything's black and you think, wow, you know, this place has been devastated. What's here left? And then nothing but several weeks later, you look and you see there's all these beautiful green sprouts. And, you know, I defy anyone to say that that green against that black contrast doesn't just look amazing, not only for what it represents, but the beauty in it as well. You know, we need that fire to have all that beautiful new growth. Okay, and that's what this is about. You've got decisions to make that's there, and that you are secure in your choices. All right, you've got the security card that sits there as well. All right, and so just kind of understand right now if you're feeling that energy, if you're feeling frustrated, and you know it's time to kind of look at things again. The duck, okay, the duck is here. Looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, walks like a duck. It's a fucking duck. All right. See things fall out. There's something around you that's no longer working, but you've got the opportunity to step away from it, embrace it. Yes, it might suck a little bit, but you're going to be secure in your choices, and you're going to see some beautiful improvement around yourself. All right. So I hope that helps. All right. I've got time for a few more guys before I've got to jump off. Let me just put back up the time a bit. What is it? I am good, thank you for asking. Lucy Haynes. Lucy Haynes. Lucy Haynes, do your face, the energy feels familiar, but I don't think I've ever met you. Alright. Okay. I want to say, when I sit with your cards, you've got the healing card first up, but they show me you're like you've been on this really great journey. It's like almost like you've run into like a little bit of a hiccup or a fence post along the way. Okay, and because you've got the frustration card that sits there as well, which just talks about taking a breath and regrouping. It's like, again, you know what you kind of need to do, and sometimes the of it all kind of gets in the way a little bit of us knowing that. And the healing side of things too, you know, one thing I've learned incredibly so over the last several months is that we come to a point of peace and growth and, you know, beautiful awareness and all of that sort of stuff around us, you know, and then the universe team goes, damn girl, you're doing good, I'm going to teach you something else, and bang, another lesson comes in, and we feel like we're kind of halted along our journey, but we're not. We're just being invited to learn more and more about ourselves. So just kind of use that as a moment of reflection within that frustration that's around you at the moment, and just take a breath and just regroup and just allow that clarity to come in. Allow that clarity to come in, and know that, yeah, like you've just got this really amazing energy, honestly. And as I said, it feels, yeah. Anyway, so you've got the transformation card that talks about blossoming into true self, and that's what it is. You know, you've got I don't know how well you guys can see that, but you know, the little sunflower that then grows and blossoms all the way up into that big, gorgeous, beautiful sunflower that's there. The transformation, you're blossoming into true self. So just, you know, again, continue to breathe. Don't let little hiccups become defining moments. Now, clearing out the stables, you know, everyone needs to do this every now and then, even when things are sitting good. When things start to go a little bit haywire, sometimes it can be have a look around in that. And it can be as simple as, you know, we're letting ourselves stay up too late at night and we're feeling exhausted and starting to impact. It doesn't have to be monumental, but it can also be just around knowing that, you know, some things aren't necessarily serving us to our higher purpose. And whilst we have respect and everything else towards those things, it's time to kind of put them to the side. All right. And then with that, you've got the change of life, which talks about energies are shifting for the better. Just make sure you're standing in your self-care, your truth, your honour and your awareness, okay? And that's that thing around it. Don't get caught up in that energy. As long as you maintain that self-care of what self-care truly means, in that, standing in your truth, your honour and your awareness, that transformation just keeps falling into place. And you'll know what it is that you need to clear out every time you feel that little bit of stagnation around you, and it shifts things back into line. Okay, you've got a clear vision that's there. Don't let other people's shadows that stand in the way or other situations, they create shadow. I keep seeing a tunnel. I can see the light down the tunnel, and I can see the walls are all white. That's our direction. We know where we're going. And I keep seeing then like people and situations and everything else like that kind of stepping out and creating shadows on the wall and creating the illusion that there's things in the way. But they're not. If we just keep moving forward, you'll see their shadows kind of just disappear into, as long as we stay focused on what it is that where we're going and who we are in here. Okay, so I hope that helps, Lucy. I hope that helps. Yeah, I'm going to grab you because I just would like to do a reading for you, Jasmine. Sunflowers. Sunflowers. I love how sunflowers, they look to the light. I don't know, maybe it's fake. I don't know. Someone correct me if it's not true. But they said the Facebook said it, so it must be true. Sunflowers, they point up to the sun, but when there's no sun, they'll point to each other for energy, which is energy is an amazing. Oh yeah. All right, Jasmine. It's interesting too when I talk about energy around. I want to say be a little bit playful with yours. Okay, challenge yourself a little bit to trust in your intuition. Okay, and when I say challenge yourself, make it fun. Make it fun. When you park in the car and you go into the shopping centre, envision what parking spot's going to be free, and envision then what kind of car's going to be parked, colour car's going to be parked next to it. All of those kind of little bits and pieces, and just gleefully surprise yourself. Knowing that I just want to slam down that self-trust a little bit because it's feeling really, really nice and in sync at the moment. So you've obviously done some good things to get to that point. Let me share your cards for you. So your jump card was the growth card, which is the tree of life, and it talks about opportunity and awareness and reaching full potential and all of those beautiful things. You've got the love card that sits there. Now, as I said, that for this card to come, the truth, the happiness, and desire, you've got to be sitting in a healthy, balanced state. That's the only way that this energy can come in around anybody. So I want to say you've been doing good. So if there is a little bit of around you at the moment, don't let it. You know what you got to do. All right, you know what you got to do. So be mindful of procrastination, creating delays to avoid action. Okay, just spring clean it, spring clean, and then you see that improvement of self in situations that are there. Okay, and you've got that reminder that jumped out that you are on the right track, you are moving forward. Just trust your instinct, and don't let other people drag you around. Some people are only here for seasons, others for reasons, others for a lifetime. Just be mindful. Just be mindful that your loyalty stays to you and yourself. And I don't say that in a disrespectful way before it goes to others, okay? Don't be afraid to call other people out on their shit either, respectful way, all right? So I hope that helps. All right, time is ticking. All right, I'm going to do, we're at 54 minutes, so I may as well just do the full hour. So I'm going to do that. Yes. And yes. All right. Let me do those two, and I'll click up. All right, Joanne. You're very welcome. All right. Oh, you got two as well. Okay. When I sit with your cards, I want to say, and what I hear is enough's enough. Enough's enough. It's like I'm feeling like, you know what? I need to look at me. I need to look at me a little bit more. I've been looking at you, and I've been looking at you, and I've been looking at you, and I've been caring about you, and caring about you, and caring about everything else. And in the middle of it all, I've been missing this thing. And look, don't get me wrong. I know that COVID and you know, all of those kind of little bits and pieces that have come into the play in the last 6 months have built up for a lot of people. And it's not about bringing things back to COVID, but you'd be surprised, you know, I feel the loneliness and the disattachment from people is starting to have a really big effect. And there's people that are coming and asking what's wrong with me, and I'm saying, you know, that is what's wrong is the human connection's missing. And I don't want to pinpoint it to COVID for you by any yards of the stick, Joanne, but I feel like, you know, I'm struggling to hear your laughter a little bit, you know, and I know it's there. I know it's there. I know you've got this amazing energy and this amazing, awesome attitude, but I feel like you're aware that something needs to sort of shift a little bit around you, because you've got the dead end card that's there, but you pulled out with it, stay connected. Okay, just stay connected to yourself. And so what the cards are saying is there's something around you that's not working, and you know that it's not. So just stay connected, but it's challenging for you to push your way through it. It's challenging, you know, and challenges come in so many different ways, you know what I mean? It's absolutely extremely challenging for me to walk into a room of unfamiliar people and sit down at a table, for example, and have dinner when I only know like one of those people. You know, I've got to be very conscious to stay connected and da-da-da-da-da. So I feel like just shriveling in my shy little hole. And, you know, all of that sort of energy that says, so I hope I'm explaining where I feel this heartache is coming from. You've got the female card, which talks about this, the shifts and the energies need to come from within, and that's where I'm saying it's just like enough's enough, people. That's it. I'm going out. I'm making changes. I'm bringing in a little bit more of what I need in my life around me, because this way it ain't working. And I'm not disrespecting, and I'm not ditching, and I'm not doing this, but I'm doing me. And not to be afraid to do that. Raise that voice. Rise that voice up. Okay, Joanna. I hope that helps. I hope that helps. How nice. Sweet as. Look at that. I didn't know I could get rid of cards on here just so quickly, but there you go. I can. Bye. Alright, let's keep going. Oh, here we go. Oh no, you're the same one. Yeah, sweet. Sorry, just 2 seconds of housekeeping. Clearing out the stables of the shit. Alright, where are we going? Yes. Let me just skip up too, because I hope there's a couple of people are interested. Kimberly. Let me just pull. I'm just going to pull cards and see what comes up for you. Okay. See, that's a bit of a reflective there. There's just an energy that around at the moment, different than what's normally around, and not to kind of take it and, you know, take ownership of it and blah blah blah. It's not about jumping in as a. It's not about just acknowledging. Really, honestly, essentially, it's acknowledging. Let's have a look. Kimberly, do your cards jumpy. Staying connected to yourself again, and that's what I'm talking about. That's there. When there's a shift, just this thing we can't quite put our finger on, especially when it is that heavier, sort of sad, you know, disconnected kind of feeling that's there. We need to touch in, and sometimes just sitting in a quiet place, you know, in nature for me especially works really well. And I know it sounds so simple, but people really can underestimate how powerful grounding can actually be, how powerful just taking a moment to breathe can actually be. You know, intention that's there. So where does yours lay? And as I said, you know, be mindful of what you're worrying about. Be mindful of what you're imagining in your head. You know, all of that kind of energy. Even when there's reason to have worry and things like that, we've got to be mindful of the scenarios that we're playing out now and allowing our subconscious to kind of see and grab a hold of. You've got the uncertainty card, which talks about, you know, confusion, doubt, and a bit of clouded judgment, but just standing strong in that energy. Where are you? And that's that big card that's there that just talks about, you know, while you're feeling this energy around you, while you're feeling this melancholy kind of sitting there, just stop and check in with yourself and see, is everything actually in order for you? Or is there something that's kind of out of kilt that's actually trying to tap you on the shoulder right now and say, hey, I want this attention because I need this in your life? Okay. Yeah, it's always got some challenges when we need to move forward to who we are, but no, the shifts need to come in. You need to look after yourself, and then you get the transformation card that sits there as well. So there's an answer to you in this, okay, and I think you'll find it might be a little bit surprising. Sit in with the pen and paper, and just as I said, even just take that moment out in nature, take the pen and paper with you, and just begin to write, and let let this part. I know you probably can't see me because of banners. But let your solar plexus, let your energy get there, do the writing. Don't think about what you're writing, and just let's see what comes out, okay? And I think you're going to find that your answer comes out in the pen and paper there for you. Acknowledge that and honour it, okay? Your jump card that come out was the truth, happiness, and desire card that sits there, and that's again, that card pops up when you're sitting in balance, and so it's just that little reminder sitting there on the side when everything falls back into sync. Your truths, your happiness, and your desires are all going to fall back into sync with you as well. All right, so I hope that helps. All right, lucky last, lucky last, lucky last. Let's have a look. Yes, exactly. Absolutely, Donna. Absolutely. You create what you think, to be more mindful. 100%. Awesome. Yes. They are, but you know what? It's you get them. It's all good. I don't pay too much mind. Yeah, that's where I wanted to jump. All right, Sharon. Sharon. All right. So I will be back on Friday evening, guys. I said this was just an impromptu one. I found myself with the choice of doing books or a live feed, and I chose live feed because I missed on Friday. So yeah. Anyway, I will be back on this Friday evening. And as I said, there's a nice that'll be a Saturday evening, I believe. Halloween is. That's going to be a fantastic one. You might need a little bit of directive to get there, but it will be shared on the page. But yes, all right, Sharon, let me focus on you. I'm not surprised. Back and forth, back and forth. So your first card's around the internal conflict card, okay, being caught in your own thoughts, but very much so when we're feeling a bit lost at the moment, that's kind of self-explanatory there. I feel like you're questioning the truth and the happiness that sits there around you, and not necessarily, I want to pull everything apart way, but just in that reflective of self way. You've got the uncertainty card that sits there, confusion, doubt, and cloud of judgment. And it's funny, there's a little bit of financial energy starting to tap in around with this as well. So you might be making some choices around what you're doing and the direction that's with that. But you've got the joy card that sits there, which talks about peace, happiness, and harmony. That's what I'm saying. Your cards are literally going back and forth. So they're definitely reminding you of your strengths that you've got underneath, okay, and asking you when you're making the decisions about which direction it is that you're looking to go, focus on what makes you happy, like properly happy, confronting the fears of not being, of stepping out of comfort zones, all right, stepping out of comfort zones within that, and then you've got the spirit card that sits and comes in, which I'm pretty sure you're aware is familiarity around that, spirit is around you. It's like finding the feather, the rock, and all of those kind of little bits and pieces. You've got the It's Time card, which talks about your intuition. You've got your intuition card straight after it, which talks about. I'm seeing my energy's reading forward. I'm feeling your energy. You've got the It's Time card, which talks about you feel it and you know it, and that's that feeling of being lost as well. It's like pay attention, and because it's wanting to shift you a bit out of your comfort zone, it can feel a little bit like being lost. But then you've got that intuition card that says just talk about trust what's happening, trust what your body's telling you, trust your intuition that's there. That comes with the worry and the doubt, but just taking one step at a time through that. And then you've got the completions card, okay? But as one door closes, another one opens. And same as before, you've got the security that falls straight after it. All right, pay attention to your truth, your honour, and your awareness. That card has jumped around an awful lot today. All right, so what you need to know most for yourself is that you need to make a commitment to move forward. Don't be afraid to step out of the unknown, into the unknown, okay? Because it's not completely void of of awareness that's there, and it's like I want to take you from one step to another step. So whether it is work or it's just within self, it's like I'm shifting you from here to here, and that needs to happen. You've got the Take 5 card, which talks about just regrouping, being mindful, recuperating, resting, just thinking about what it is you want to do, stand strong in your energy, and look at the bigger picture. Look beyond right now, long term, towards self and moments of what it is that you need. Okay, it's going to shape this energy for you, and it feels good. It feels positive, and I feel like when I sit and I look back and I go, yeah, I'm so glad that I made that choice, and I'm so glad that I acknowledged this feeling that is around me at the moment because it was trying to push me and show me something was out of whack. Okay, so I hope that that helps, Sharon. Hope that that helps. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure to read for you all. And if you haven't already, feel free to like the Facebook page. You'll get notified when I do random little live feeds and bits and pieces like that. But other than that, enjoy your day, enjoy the rest of your week, and I look forward to seeing you all in the live on Friday. Until then, take care.